We should be good. Good morning. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Disruptive Mail where ah, wrong channel. Hold on. Wrong channel. Good morning. Welcome to Everybody's a Millionaire, where we talk about starting businesses. Today, we're about to get into a topic. We're about to get into something that's going to be very saucy. If you don't know who Fred Trump is, you're missing the game. Once again, this is not going to be a political rant or anything like that. And if I see political posts, I'm deleting them just to save you a little time. What we're going to get into is the masterful art of financial pimping that Fred Trump conducted for his family. Once again, we're going to get into financial pimping that Fred Trump built and gave to his family. It's like, let's put it this way. If Fred Trump was behind this essential consulting thing, it would have never seen the light of day. We would have never known about it. So this tells me that because Fred actually bailed Donald out of trouble many, many times and had him on payroll, had him on salary and all this other stuff. And you're starting to see without the protective wing of Fred, how Donald's gotten into trouble. But we're not going to talk about Donald. Everyone knows what this is. We'll talk about this article because the thing that got me was they found all of this stuff, but he ain't going to jail. So essentially, he got away with it. I want you to really, really think about this. Like, oh, this law was broken. This law was broken. And then I actually saw a guy really break it down who is one of the MSNBC contributors. He used to be an attorney. And he said the words that I was waiting for. He said, most of this stuff was legal. Most of it, not all of it, but most of it was legal. Like, And I think that Donald Trump actually put this article out. And they're like, what? Why would Donald put this out? Let me explain it to you. He got all of this stuff that he did, right? But he ain't going to jail. His base is going to eat that up. Donald. He got over on the feds. He got over on the government. He saved them. They don't love that stuff. Dang, this is not going to hurt him. This is going to enhance him because he stuck it to the system, right? Well, let's just say Fred did. Because go ahead and read the article and get into it. Donald tried to stick Fred for his paper, literally and figuratively. So Fred was the genesis. Oh, if you're new here, I'm Glendon Cameron, your hustling godfather. What we do is start businesses. And I want you to do me a solid. I want you to go below and get on the text notification list because YouTube does not send all of my subscribers notifications even if you ring the bell. So I really want you on that text notification list because I have your phone number and it goes straight to your phone. So you get this hot content right off the presses. Do that now. So I'm looking at Fred because I'm an admirer of people with high financial acumen. And Fred was the dude. Fred, if there was no Fred Trump, there would be no Donald Trump. And I'm not talking about just his father. I'm talking about everything. Because see, Fred made the money. Fred made the money. And when I saw that part about where Fred had wrote a check to the casino for $3.5 million, they cashed the check and they gave the chips, but they never did anything with the chips. So Fred gave him a loan, but you don't understand. And I think you really got to understand this. For Fred to have $3.5 million cash money in a checking account somewhere in the 70s, in the 80s, That was like maybe 20 mil in a bank account. I don't think you understand. Fred wasn't just rich. Fred was stanky rich. Fred, once again, I admire Fred. Yes, he was a racist and all this other stuff, but I can admire people who can put together certain things and make fantastic sums of money. So Fred built this empire and he gave it to Donald and his brothers and sisters. But Donald, being who Donald is, he seemed to have manipulated most of the money into his pockets. So look, how did Fred do this? How did Fred do this? Fred used LLCs. Fred used trust. Fred put his kids as employees of the business, whether they showed up or not. But once again, and let's be really clear about this. One of the things that you have to understand, and one of the things that you have to know is none of this works without a steady source of cash coming in. The trust, the LLCs, if you're broke Dick Danny setting up an LLC, big whoop. There ain't no money there. LLCs, trusts, partnerships, all of these shenanigans only work when you have money. This ain't going to work if you just like go create an LLC and think that it's going to save your life without a plan, without some cash coming in. So you got to understand that you need some money. You got to understand that you got to get in the game. But we're going to assume that you, yes, you have $10 million. Now you've got a few ways that you can handle this $10 million. Let's say you have $10 million, you sell your company and someone writes you a check for 10 million bucks, right? You got a problem because that's some serious capital gains tax. They're going to hit you over the head with, let's say you invested 2 million in this company, you never pulled it out. So they're going to come off that 8 million, but they're going to hit you over the head hard because that is that's like winning the lottery. So they're going to try to take 4 million, which leaves you 6. Now, if you like Fred, say it, if I had $10 million and I busted my ass and I worked really hard to make it happen, I did this, and then someone's going to come up and take almost half, I'm going to be outraged. I'm going to be indignant. I'm going to be like, whoa, 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 hold up, wait a minute. This ain't going down. Like that, what was that line? She wasn't in the gym shooting foul shots with me. They wasn't out here talking to customers. They weren't out here talking to people. I probably would look for some legal structures to keep people from sticking me for my paper. I would think a fair amount to pay would be 500,000 maybe, because they ain't do nothing. That's how I'm looking at it. And that's how people who are making money are looking at it. You ain't doing nothing. All this collective good, the public good and all this other stuff. Yeah. But if you've busted your up, you've made critical sacrifices, you ain't gonna want to give off that money. So you're gonna start looking for tax havens. You're gonna start looking for all kinds of things. And I'm gonna just say this, and this may come surprising. I have no problem with Donald Trump's family doing this stuff to keep money. I do this stuff. They ain't my problem, Donald. My problem is much more, but we ain't getting into that. I have no problem with a man who builds a fortune for his family and he wants to make sure they get as much as that. I have no problem with that. Congratulations, Fred. Congratulations, Fred. Take my hat off to you. I have no problem with that. This is moving really, this is in my lane right here, because one of the biggest paths or one of the biggest barriers to wealth building is taxes. I know someone who pays $2,000 a month in taxes, and she gets irritable every time she mentioned that, because she's like, you know what I can do with that? You know that $2,000 is the mortgage on 2 or 3 rental properties. So when you get money, you become conservative. You just do. Because you're sitting there like, hey, all these folks and the food stamp people, nah, you ain't out here killing dragons. You ain't out here making no money. I can't get behind that. So one of the things that happens is you develop this mindset, you develop this persona that it's them against us, and you govern yourself accordingly. So once again, I just want to be real clear. None of this works if there is no money coming in. Now you got your 10 million and you're sitting there like, huh. Now, see, if you get your $10 million check and you've made no provisions to plan beforehand, you just stupid. Because once you start making money, folks will come out of the woodwork to help you save on those taxes. Your bank, wealth management, all these folks just popping out the woodwork. So you would be stupid if you're in that situation when you sell your company. So let's say you've been looking at this channel, you've been watching this channel, and today you're Broke Dick Danny. But Broke Dick Danny got dreams, ambition. You ain't gonna be Broke Dick Danny forever. You're gonna be Classy Carl. Then you're gonna be Paid Percy. Then you're gonna become the man. You know it in your heart. You know it in your heart right now. You're gonna become this guy. So you start in deploying your tax strategies when you're Broke Dick Danny. You don't wait to get the money. You create the money in a container where there are tax safeguards before you get the money. That's how the game is played. This is what Fred Trump did. This is what he set off in the path. Because like I said, dude was the master. He was the master. And all this noise about, hey, maybe he's currently doing it. They're not going to touch him. And he actually broke the law. And ain't nothing going to happen to him. Now, depending upon how you feel, this is where we are. The coming tax laws, all the stuff's about to be lax as it wants to be. The Internal Revenue Service is already shorthanded. Let's just put it this way. If you were going to attack, let's say the Internal Revenue Service was an army, and you were another army, you were the financial army, and the Internal Revenue was the service to take your money. The barbarians at the gates, man. This right now, in the next probably 5 years, or maybe, and I want to say this, and this is just what, because I'm here to bring you the truth. I'm not here to just give you opinions, because looking at the landscape, Trump could be reelected. And you want to know why? Because he kept his campaign promises. Once again, I'm not on fanboy Trump, but I have to be a realist, and I have to look at it, and I have to give you this information. So if he gets reelected, I think the economy is going to crash, and that's going to mess that up. But if he gets reelected, the things that you will be able to do financially for your family will be unlimited. Just truth. Because I'm just looking at what's happening. I'm just really looking at it. And Trump is Pinocchio, and there's someone else that's Geppetto. Know this. And whoever's Geppetto has some long money, and they want to make their money longer. So unless he dies, just all this stuff's going through. All of it. There's going to be a classic meltdown in the economy where the robber barons will come in and buy assets super cheap. I'm going to be one of them. I ain't going to lie. I'm stacking cash right now. I have no personal debt. None. I am waiting for the meltdown. So now you have your $10 million. Once again, you Broke Dick Danny, and you're moving on. So what's the first thing you do? You create a holding company and you create an operating company. First thing you do to create separation between you and your business. Then you start working and building that business and getting it to the point that you can make some money. Then you move to the next level, because now you have money. Then you could get into all this fancy stuff, because I have people who want to do all of these things before they've done the first thing, which is to start a business and make some money. Start a business and make some money. What is money? You need to get like 10, 15, 20 G's a month before you even really get deep into the game. Holding company, operating company, and your baby LLC that's going to take care of you, that's going to give you tax safeguards and all that stuff. That's what you need to do first before you get to the big boy leagues. When you start creating these fictitious loans and stuff like that, because you don't have any money. See, this is once again, this is how people get caught in the lower echelons because they really are not playing with any money, And I'm not being dismissive. I understand that, $50,000 may be a lot of money to you, but the big boy games don't start until you crack $1 million. That's where this stuff really starts to generate. Once you crack $1 million, woo, the things you can do, the way you can set it up, delayed compensation, dividends, stuff. There's so many things you can do to offset your tax situation. Because if you're in the art of holding, you know that I am waiting for Georgia to approve my LLC. And they've been dragging their feet. Probably I'm going to Florida. I'm going to get me a business address and I'm going to just incorporate in Florida. Because I was thinking about doing it and I was going to do it later. And I was like, y'all dragging y'all feet. I got things to do. So that one move going to save me 7%, which can be huge. Really, really huge. So what I'm going to do for the folks who are in the art of holding, I'm going to put in some extracurricular game. Stuff I will never put on YouTube, things I'll never talk about. Once again, once I do it, and I'm going to go to New Mexico. I'm going to go to Wyoming, I believe. Definitely going to Mexico. And we're going to talk about setting some stuff up, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Because looking at the environment, looking at how things are, it's open season, player. It is open season right now. And once again, whatever happens with this administration, this opportunity will be limited because once the Democrats get back in power, and they will, they're going to try to cut all this stuff off. And this is why Congress is trying to make this stuff permanent. So this is the time, because see, let's go ahead and say they roll some stuff back, but what's this term we love? Grandfathered in. So you need to be on your business. You need to be trying to get it now. I suspect you got 5-7 years to get yourself really set up nicely with your holding company, operating company. And see, once you out here who are teaching you how to get business credit, let me just tell you something. If you got a score of 690, you could probably get business credit. And this is your Visas, your MasterCards, your lines of credit. You could probably get 100K to 150K if you know what you're doing. But you don't know how to sell. You don't know how to market. You don't know how to make money. You don't know how to pre-sale. You don't know how to present. You don't know none of this stuff. Let me tell you what's going to happen. You got that money and you're going to go out and you're going to make a lot of mistakes because you don't know what you're doing. You're smart. You got good credit. You work hard. It ain't enough. It ain't enough. So that's what's going to happen. So there are people out here who are offering business credit services and it's legit. But the thing is, if you don't know how to run the business, you're going to end up having some additional credit card payments that you hadn't counted on because it ain't going to work out. On this channel, there are videos that teach you how to start a business, that teach you how to get things popping, that teach you how to get some money. Because your first thing is, before you can get into the Fred Trump realm, and you need $1 million. You need to be collectively, and once again, not $1 million liquid, but your business needs to be making $1 million a year before you even start looking at this Fred Trump strategy and protocols and stuff. So what I'm going to do for my Hustler undergrad students, I'm going to take you through a journey that I went through. I used to be broke, Dick Danny. I lived in a boarding house. I had no money. And probably the best job that I ever had was at business environments because I was around Ken. I ain't gonna say his last name, but Ken and Fred Trump, they are brothers. This stuff that I learned from Ken, I'll even tell you, Ken had his wife on payroll for the tune of $68,000 a year. She never came in the office. And because I'm telling you, the company was so small, we just go in QuickBooks, you can see everything, right? He didn't have locks on nothing. He didn't care. He was too busy making money. And I asked him, I said, "Do you have your wife? Does she work here? She work?" And he just closed his door and he said, "Look, I love my wife, but if she ever divorces me, she can never say that she had no income. What we do is we take this money and it goes into her checking account and I pay taxes so she'll have some retirement." And it sounds like, wow, $68,000 a year. She go to court, she can't say, "I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't make no money. I need all this money." No, 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 no. And what he said is that she rarely spends any money. He's like, "Yeah, he spends my money." So conceivably, I think he said she had like 300-400K in the bank account. And once again, to the broke dick Danny, she's like, "Whoa, whoa, $68,000. Whoa, whoa, that's a lot of money." Ken was probably the year we did Sanctuary, we did 3.5 off that project alone. Ken was making about 20 million a year on a good year. A bad year, probably 8 or 10. Bad year. So you go to the divorce court, they go from your best year. You know what the money, the payout on 20, essentially what he did is if they got divorced, she can only get so much because she has a source of income. She has a source of income, so she can't go ahead and plead that and get 5 or 6 million. So it was cheaper to pay her 68, and he also got to write that off because if you own the company, you get to write employee salaries off. So he was really only paying her maybe 30 something, 30 some a year, 300, say 20 years, 600K versus 5 million or 10 million. You do the math, man. I learned a lot from that dude. He was ruthless, but I learned a lot from that dude. And that's when you start to see how the game goes. Because I'm getting ready to do a video. I hadn't had time. I'm not going to do it before I leave. But we were discussing The Millionaire Next Door last night. People were reading this book, right? I think it's full of it's just nonsense because I live in a neighborhood with many multimillionaires. I live in a neighborhood where the houses start at high sixes and they go to like 20 million. And I would say the majority of the houses are between 8 to a million, 800,000 a million. That's where most of them are. They ain't living like that because I hadn't even read the book, but I went on Amazon last night and I went ahead and I just started reading some of the comments and the dude broke it down. And one of the things he said that most of the millionaires in America are small business owners. This is in the book. Most of the millionaires in America are small business owners. What have I been telling you folks for 9 years? Own a business. I'm like, people keep trying to get around this essential truth. You're going to have to get in the game if you want to be famous. You're going to have to get in the game if you want to get your pimp game on. You're going to have to. And all of this stuff about, like, give you an example. We have talked about money before, right? We've talked about that 79% of America doesn't make $58,000 a year. How are you going to save and invest your wealth when most of your money goes to live? You're making that 58K a year. You're not balling. And then half of the country makes like 30 or 30 grand a year. Where's the money to save and to invest? Unless you're like this couple that I ran into, there were two teachers. They lived on his income and they saved hers and they bought houses. If you do something like that, okay. But that's an extreme measure because just keep it real. Just keep it a buck, as they like to say on the internet. A lot of women ain't even going for that program. Wait a minute, we're going to save my salary? I need my Jimmy Choos. I need my Gucci bag. We can't do that. We might, you need to do what you need to do because I'm going to spend my money on mine. Plus, I got these student loans. So, Mr. Man, you do what you need to do. Woo! This is very interesting. This is very interesting. All right, so let me get off into this chat because today it's wild, man. It is really, really wild. What's up, Mo Grizzly, Excalibur? What's going on, people? Good morning. Fred Trump built a lot of low income houses in New York City. Don't hate the game. Don't hate the player. Learn the rules so you can win. I mean, once again, I wouldn't live in no trash like that. I wouldn't, but hey, what's up, Mr. Perez, Derek, AKW Beats, Black Zeus? What's going on? Zola, what's up, Caddy Williams, 285? What's up, Johnny Walden? Thomas Dixon, that long Thomas Dixon, long money. That's funny, man. I like your name. Health, weight, and real talk. Fred was the man. He was an alpha. It's a shame his son is a simp. This has been discussed several times. Like, go to Shakespearean plays. The son, the father, the king. The king was a good man. He built stuff. He was a leader. The son was envious of the love that was bestowed upon the king. So the son killed the king. This history keeps repeating itself, man. Check out Dirty Money on Netflix. All right. RL, yeah, trust our beats. But once you need to have some assets, because one of the things that I'm going to give you, and one of the reasons that I've set up Hustle Undergrad very differently is I'm giving you what you need, not what you want. You know, you want some slick, quick, that ain't gonna work. But Bill, and this is why I did the art of holding first, to give you that legal structure so you can start building some stuff on. Because you got people out here, like say these young guys who are rappers or these creators, who people literally throwing millions of dollars at them, and because they have no financial literacy, they are just paying so much in taxes. They're blowing money. They're losing money because no one that they know they can talk to or trust. I don't know about this text notification thing. Could be. I didn't really get too deep into it. I'm about making this money. Once again, my attention span wavered a little bit. I got caught up in some stuff. Now I'm bringing it back online. And if it ain't about making these dollars, if it ain't about building these YouTube channels or something like that, I'm not going to mess with it, because once again, I'm a student of the truth. And the truth is, because I did a poll, I don't know if I talked to y'all about this, and I asked people how they feel about abortion. Five, if you're against abortion, 555. You know, there are people out here who are saying mixed company that they're pro-choice. They're really not pro-choice. I would suspect that most of America is against abortion now, and they're gonna hold their nose and deal with what's going on. RL, the tax code is like the yellow brick road. You master that, you will keep it pot of gold. Yes. Now I want you to understand, it was like that before Trump got in office. Now imagine what it's going to be like now that he's in office. All right, Ricardo. Goddess, no. Fred Trump did what many wealthy fathers do. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Amen. 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 It's just the reality. Health. I'm penniless Priscilla right now, but channel. All right. Seriously, you got to understand. And once again, I want you guys to be successful, but you're not going to be successful getting a business card, writing CEO on it. You're not going to be successful just starting an LLC without a real business. But you're just not. You're just going to look like you're, running into the direction of success, but you're just fooling yourself and playing games. I want you guys to get real and build real businesses. What's up, Mentor Shelley? Health, weight, and real talks. You no longer think Trump would be impeached? Put it like this. If the Democrats get control of the House and the Senate, he will be impeached. If they don't, nope. I mean, you just got to look at what went down with this Supreme Court nominee. We have people out here who can testify that the guy lied, and they don't want to talk to him. I mean, once again, I'm a student of the truth. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go, yeah. Part of it is getting impeached. The Democrats will have to win the House and the Senate. And if they don't do that, no. If the economy goes south, then he will be reelected. No president's ever been able to weather that. I don't even care if you're Trump. So it really depends on what happens in November. It really depends on what happens with the economy because his followers and a lot of folks who are not followers don't care. They simply do not care. And I got to admit, like when Bill Clinton was having Monica service him in the Oval Office, I was working 2, 3 jobs. And I was just like, I'm making money. Leave Bill alone. And that's where many people are. Many people aren't getting really informed. Many people are not watching all these episodes. Many people, all they hear is sound bites and clips. And this is why Trump keeps doing uncivilized marketing, because if he puts out enough stuff out there that the truth gets buried, and people don't care. They just don't care. I'm just sitting here watching this stuff. Once again, I'm a student of the truth. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to give you real information. And unless the Dems get the House and the Senate, no, ain't nothing gonna happen to them. Nothing. And it is a weird thing, but we'll get into that later. Oh, I like that. A bad economy is the Black Friday for wealthy people. Be real. I always said before he was elected that Trump would win the presidency and serve 2 terms. I still say it today. If the Democrats get the House and the Senate, no, he will not. If the economy crashes, no, he will not. People love him, but right now we have farmers and we have fishermen who are losing business and going out of business because of his policies. Um, you lose the family farm. I don't think you'll be voting like, yeah, we lost the farm. Yeah, I'm on food stamps now. I'm gonna vote them again. No, I don't think so. And also, women, because once again, getting down to this abortion thing, if women really get pissed off and they vote in their self-interest, then he will be impeached. But if women, because once again, like this abortion question, a lot of people say one thing in mixed company, but when they get in that voting booth, so that's the reality of it. Sounds like Bush Cheney part two could be. Goddess, a man. Well, once again, we're not getting all that. We're going to concentrate on the real pimp in the family, which is Fred Trump. Fred Trump was legit. I mean, just shows. I want you to understand Fred Trump made so much money, set up so many assets, set up so many trusts that even after he was dead, he was able to give Donald money because Donald was getting like 5 million a year from the family trust. I don't really think you understand. It is it's a work of beauty. It's a work of beauty. Like once again, I am not going to denigrate anyone that takes care of their family. I'm just not. And if that means you're a criminal, but you're not paying taxes, so be it. And that's something that's going to resonate with a lot of his base. He got away with it. He got away with it. Kathy Williams, I knew they went. Once again, let's not get carried away. Let's see. We'll talk about this after the midterms because the midterms are going to set the table. If the Democrats get the House and the Senate, he will be impeached. If they don't, because once again, there's so much noise out here, and there's so many false narratives out here that it's real hard to drill down what's what, and that actually helps Trump. This mass confusion helps Trump, and also it just depends on because there's 230 people eligible to vote, so that's 100 million people who could vote who don't vote. If 10% of those people come up and vote against Trump, he's gone. I got a question for you, Be Real. How is the economy now different than it was under Obama? Please tell me that. God is no Donald Trump was a trust fund, maybe a trust fund teenager, a trust fund adult, and a damn trust fund senior citizen. Pretty much. Oh, RL. See, you going at people's ankles. You cutting them at the ankles. It's amazing how people hate Trump, but don't hate the family that didn't set them up to be successful. Oh man, you're gonna have them putting the sniper rifles on the roof for you. Oh man. Ricardo, you don't have it now, but see, once again, you gotta get your mindset because let's be real, you can have it in 10, 15, 20 years from now. You can have it. See, this is the long game. Like once again, I was in a boarding house with crackheads and criminals. 1999. I did not get to $1 million during the storage auction business, but we had extremely high margins, so I didn't really need to. Because here's the thing: you don't have to be quote a millionaire to be wealthy in America. Let me say that again. I know people are like, what? You don't have to be a millionaire to be wealthy in America. If you owned, let's say, 6 houses outright, and collectively these houses came up to 750K. That's all you had. You're wealthier than 98% of the people in this country because you have 7 assets that produce income. Once again, you do not have to be a millionaire to be wealthy. Being wealthy is having assets that make money for you, that you go to work or not. Everybody don't listen. I'm a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. They don't really understand money. Like Ricardo, let's say it takes you 20 years, right? And you get your 4 pieces of property and they're all paid off. And you got $6,000 or $7,000 a month in rent. And you get just Social Security's 2,000. You 9 G's a month. You ain't a millionaire, but you're richer than 98% of the people in this country. See, once again, people get caught up in I need to be a millionaire or like the millionaire next door, and they like to these millionaire games. It's like I got my house money, I got my insurance money, and I got my 401k, and I got my little pension. I'm a millionaire on paper. Let me tell you about that. Of all the millionaires, there's like 11 million in the United States. 10 million of them, if you take the house out the equation, they're no longer millionaires. Also, if you or a loved one suffers a serious health crisis, you can't have that house for the government kicks in money. So, or let's say they experience a health crisis. This has happened. There's several articles of people who did the right thing. They invested money, they put money in their 401k, they paid their house off, then someone got sick, and within 3 years, it was all gone. All gone. Because they were millionaires on paper, legit and truly, but they didn't have a lot of cash. So let's say you compare yourself to a couple, they got like $1.5 million net worth. They live in a neighborhood that appreciated, but say you own a small business and you got your business to the point, like say you 75, your business makes 30K a month. You don't have to go in the office but once a week. So you're making $360,000 a year. And you ain't a millionaire, but you rich. You wealthy because you created an asset that makes you money and you don't have to be there. That's how you play this game. You got too many people out here stunned and playing games, acting like they rich, acting like they're wealthy. They got a big old car and they live in a hotel. I had to take my car to get service yesterday, and I had an interesting conversation with I I think her name was Lancey, and she was saying, she does hair. Hey, if you're watching, and she said that people that she followed on Instagram, she met being an Uber driver, and she's like, they had this big Range Rover truck. I'll tell you something about that. Not the Range Rover truck, but the Mercedes G-Wagon. I'm gonna tell you something about that in a minute. And she said, I picked up this guy and I dropped him off at the hotel. A lot of people are living in hotels these days. That's a thing, because you can live in a fly hotel for less than what you can rent a fly crib. Once again, everybody that you're checking out on Instagram and YouTube, look at the house. Forget the car, forget the vacations. Where do they lay their head? That's going to tell you who really making money and who really ain't, where they lay their head. Because everyone wants to talk about Ty Lopez. It's like, yeah, he rents this place. It's $15,000. It's $15,000 a month. Like everybody like, yeah, I could just pull $15,000 out of this non-existent trust to rent. Ty had to have money to pull that rental off. He had to have a lot of money, because they weren't going to rent it to him if he was just making 1.5. They had to see that he was making 3 times that to rent that spot. So Ty, when he rented that house, he was making more than $50K a month. Oh, Ty Lopez. Yeah, he has all these ads. That's how he makes his money. You have to buy the ad first before the money comes in. So Ty, when he first started, was spending about $1 million a year for all this stuff. And he was spending before he was remunerated. Remuneration is being paid back. So I look at it. Well, once again, people don't understand money. They don't understand the wealthy. They have these ideals and these romantic notions. But I guarantee you, you go through Hustle undergrad and you work. You may not become a millionaire, but you will become wealthy. I want you to say this again. You may not become a millionaire, but you will become wealthy. You're going to stop doing stupid stuff like buying all this stuff on credit and buying cars you can't afford. You're going to stop all that, and you're going to start stacking your cash. You're going to start building. I'll just put that out there. What's up, grown folks? Appreciate it. I know, man. This is, like I said, student of the truth. I have to look at what really happened. Fred Trump was the man. Racist or not, whatever you want to call him, he did right by his family. Isn't that what we all want? To do right by our family, to make sure that our kids have a better life. He did that. Just his son is a scheming fool, but I'll tell you, it is. Yes. Cool breeze. Once again, this is what I'm trying to tell you. There's what stuff you hear on the internet, and people are the best information they can. I'm not going to denigrate anyone, but they can't teach you what they don't know. They can't. So I see stuff, and once again, Ken, I was in business environments about 8 months. The game that I learned there in those 8 months was just sick. Stuff I use to this day. Flo, I had 2 LLCs now, but I have to leave Cali because it broke me. Even with $1 million business, moved to Texas for low taxes and cost of living. Was going to do LLC first here in Texas. I want you to really listen to KUNLE. $1 million business, and he had to leave California. Now, there are people who are making $200,000 and $300,000 a year in California, and they can't afford to live there. I want you to think about that. Kirkwood, everybody should check all their credit bureaus once or twice a year. Yeah. What's up? Oh, hold on. We just jumped. Good Lord. We got a hater in here. We got a hater. All right. 4 Iron Line Zion. Wow, your boy Ken sounds like my family. Ken was a hustler, and he went to Harvard. And whenever Ken was lying, he you could tell he'd do that. He had this little flinch, right? And I was like, oh God, he's lying to me. RL, building a business from the ground up is the best education in life you'll ever get. I absolutely agree with that because it's going to make a man of you. It's going to make a woman of you. It's going to test a lot of this BS that's in you. It's going to pull it out of you. It's going to pull it out of you quick. Ventures one, people should get roommates and housemates to help build themselves up instead of struggling from the them with same issues and actions. And we talk about this because I did this on Disruptive Mail, how to get your first apartment. And I did another one, and a lot of people. It was real interesting because these videos don't get a lot of views because we have so many guys who want to chase tail than versus chase money, and the video's getting a lot of comments. So I appreciate you guys who check this out because the last two videos on Disruptive Mail talk about getting your first car, your first apartment, things you need to do, and how to furnish it. And these are things that people can do, but people are looking at the romance of the hustler porn, and they're just like, that's not exciting to me. Jax, it's better to go through the struggle of building a business than to be a slave to money. I agree. Cool breeze. I want you to, when you see someone say this, because a lot of people who are bigger YouTubers watch this channel and they be stealing my stuff. So if you see someone say that, because no one's ever put that out there for that, putting your wife on the payroll to guard against high alimony, to guard against her going, I'm the helpless defender's woman. Ken did the math on that. Give up 600K or give up 5 or maybe 10 million. Once you really start to adjust your mental posture, because the thing is, everybody's trying to get, well, not everybody, some people are trying to get so much for little or nothing. If I have to pay money for a course, oh God, I want it for free. Even though if you get it for free, you ain't gonna do it because you don't have any skin in it. And just being there changed my mind on how the world works and how money works. P show business. I'm in New York City. 75% of the government contracts are for construction, but I want my social to see if you owe child support. How do I get around this? There's a multitude of, you're gonna have to get in the art of holding. I said I was gonna do this. I was gonna do a special child support section of that. I haven't gotten to it, but yeah, you get in the art of hustle. Well, actually, I don't think I said that. You check your emails. Not only, I don't really care about the Federal Reserve one way or another. Once again, Federal Reserve, interest rate stuff. This is stuff that people who are not building businesses concern themselves with, because I built this business on the tail end of one of the worst recessions ever. Because the thing is, what's a recession? Economy pulls back. Don't stop. So in a recession, you can make a lot of money if you're positioned correctly. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, and you got to look at the average American with 2.5 kids working. They don't have the time. Like when I'm working and doing stuff, I'll have these shows going on in the background, so I get updated. But the average person, like, I'm in my home office. I don't have to work around people. I can do things that other people can't. I can be informed. I can have conversations. I can get on the phone anytime I want. The average person can't do that. They just don't have the bandwidth or the ability to be informed. And then when you have all of this propaganda going on, uncivilized propaganda, it's real easy to see why people are doing what they're doing. Cool breeze, appreciate it. Thanks for the $20. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that before I leave. What's up, Yolanda? I mean, once again, I don't have a problem with that. Or wealthy people hire other kids out of college to work for them and make them money. Sweet signs. People don't invest in the family members. Most people are self-righteous and broke. Remember when I was talking about you have to outgrow or regurgitate your upbringing, this is what I'm talking about. Like, once again, e- look at the negative talk about rich people, greedy, their families are on, all their kids are on drugs and all this other stuff. Um, there's a holy innocence. It's literally around the corner. And I see these kids, in certain eateries around town, and they're just kids. They're happy kids. I remember there was one look because they all wear uniforms, and I was getting ready to go into the place, and one of the little girls like opened up the door. Here you go. They're just kids, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, there are some kids who are on drugs, but there's some poor kids on drugs too. What's up, Shabazz? I know 285 property, mass confusion. I think that was a program, an early program by Frank Kern. BT the creator. Thank you, Glenn. Still making bread off your free information, still working that job. Awesome. Miss Finance, this information is priceless. Appreciate that. Be real. What has changed is businesses are opening up their wallets. Chief executives are buying more equipment, new computers, the software, and investing in research. People feel better about the economy. Okay. The economy is only a percentage point better. So if it's only a percentage point better, why do people feel this way? BP Trucking, what's up? Passive income is not the key. There are many people talk about passive income. I'm going to tell you, as someone who had 7 figures passive income from selling my book, it ain't going to last. We have pensioners right now. This is why I'm putting up a new business model. And I'll even get into that. Pensioners, people who did the right things. They paid their kids their house off. They saved money. They sent their kids to college. And now these companies who entered into them a promise 30, 40 years ago saying, look, we don't have the money to pay you. And they're cutting these people's benefits in half. They did the right thing. As long as you put your financial future in the hands of someone else, it's going to be abused at some point. Not passive income. Create your own income stream. If it takes you, like, let's say you're 30 and it takes you 30 years to get your business to the point where you can chill and you just go in the office, sign checks, whatever, never sign over check signing authority, and just go in and do the accounting, and you making, let's say, $25,000 a month. After you pay all your employees and taxes stuff, then that's a check for you for $25K. Winning, you only 60. You ain't a millionaire, but you wealthy. Because see, this whole notion of I want to make a lot of money and not actually do anything, and this right here is messing up people. Because they're it's like, yeah, you can do this, you can get in the stock market, you buy Bitcoin, you can do all this stuff. Look at what the people who have real money are doing. They ain't on the internet. They ain't on no Bitcoin. Look at the people with the real money and what they're doing. Like on my street, next door neighbor, Audi, Mercedes, and Range Rover. Guy next door, Audi, Saab, next door, 500 SEL. See, because this is why I'm really going to do this to task, because I got to be thoughtful about this, because I'm going to like be exposing these people. But I got to show you that the millionaire next door thing, it ain't real. And these folks work. It's quiet as a mug around here because people at home working. Dre the Green, Grant Cardone. See, Grant Cardone work. All right. Grant Cardone is in the top 0.5%. And this is, and I'm not trying to beat you up, Dre the Dream. You really got to look at Grant Cardone in full context. Grant Cardone makes enough money to get a Gulfstream 650. That's a $65 million plane. Even if he's leasing it, he's paying several $1,000,000 per year. Grant Cardone is, I would put it that Grant Cardone is richer than Donald Trump. I would say Grant is probably richer than Donald Trump. And that's something. Because Donald Trump is rich. Let's be clear. He may be a billionaire, he may not, who knows? But Grant Cardone has active income as well as passive income. He uses his active income to get him more assets to create larger passive income. And since he's still working, he's taking that passive income and buying more assets to make even more money. That's why Grant can rent out $1 million place. That ain't going to work for average people. See, you can't do rich folks stuff on a poor man's budget. You just can't. It doesn't work. Oh, Grant owns that. His business owns it. He rents it from his business. Who knows? I know Thomas Dixon because, Grant, and I don't want to be dismissive, and I'm not trying to marginalize you guys, but when you look at a Gary V, you look at a Grant Cardone, I want you to see these people for who they are. They're exceptionally human, exceptionally good financial human beings. Like, I don't even believe Gary is living in some BS apartment. I think that's a narrative he tells because I like Grant because Grant keeps it real. They're like, hey, I'm gonna be in Rolls. See the little stars up in the ceiling. I'm gonna be in his Rolls. Grant talks a lot of junk, but Grant backs it up. I think Gary is finding himself. I think Gary's a really good dude. And I think Gary's trying to urge people to be productive, to build. And he understands if he tells them, it's like, oh, I make 10 million a year, I'm tune out. Because that arc of being broke Dick Danny and then going to 10 million, that's just too big of a chasm. And many people are like, oh, they're gonna give up for the start. But if it makes it seem like he's attainable, he had this poor upbringing. Because see, Gary lies differently than Trump. Trump lies about what he has. Gary omits what he has. So it's a different angle, and I think I know why he does it. Be real. Combination low unemployment, peppier economic growth, a record-setting stock market has pushed measures of consumer confidence to their highest level. So that's why people feel better. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's the propaganda machine. It's the propaganda machine. All right, you've been on this channel for a minute. You're a moderator, right? People are not making that much money. It's the propaganda. I'm going to tell you a story, and this should illustrate it. I was working at Scottish Rite, and I was with people who were unhappy and disgruntled. And I started to hang out with them. I started to commiserate with them. And I ended up quitting my job. And I was like, yeah, they're treating us unfair, man. They're doing this stuff, man. I turned in my notice. So the people who were really grumpy, it's like, when y'all turn y'all notice in? Oh, I ain't quitting. I'm just, I'm going to rock. I was the only one that quit. So when you have a collective of people saying one thing, and then I went to this new job and it was worse. And fortunately, I kept on as part-time because I was at the other job and I was like, man, this is way worse than Scottish Rite. And I kept the part-time job and a per diem job. And I went in, the lady who ran the lab, her name was Lil. And I said, Lil, if you ever have a full-time position open up again, let me know. She says, it's open right now. Turned my nose to the other place and went back. What I'm saying is propaganda can make people feel that something's really good is bad. And propaganda can make some people feel that something that's not good, really good. There's not a big difference between the Trump economy and the Obama economy for all of this vast, because Trump, once again, he's a great seller. He hammers his message home every day. We're doing great. Best economy ever. He lying. You know what the best economy was? From 1945, right after World War II, to the 60s. We had people, a large group of people, Americans couldn't read. A large group of people weren't in school. So from that period, from the late 40s up to the 60s, was the biggest, the greatest economic expansion in America. That was the greatest economy. But once again, I know this because I've researched it, but you don't know this. So you're going to listen to anything that sounds good. And if you think wrong, do the research. This is why, because it ain't that big of a difference. And Obama actually had a peak that Trump has not reached yet. So part of this is, once again, what can we learn from Trump? If you have a really good message, you could sell oil and tell people it's perfume all day long. Oh man, y'all going in on that. 285. Oh, okay. Crypto. Amazon open a distribute. Where are you at, crypto, Jack? If you're in California or LA, yeah, they may not go for some at $18 an hour. But if you're in Tupelo, Mississippi, I guarantee they'd be lined up. So once again, look at Fred. Um, go to the article, read up on it, and look at all the documents they had, and you could just piece the game together because it's a beautiful work of art. It really is. And if you go ahead right now and start with your, once again, the 4 mandates, work on your economics. Your first goal is to get you a hustle or a side business that makes you a G a month. That's your first thing. The second thing, well, you do it concurrently, get your body together. The third thing, you get your mental spirit together. And then the fourth thing is women. And, for the women on this channel, you just want those first 3 things, because opportunity is going to be so open for those who are prepared. It's going to be ridiculous for the next 8 years, I would suspect. Even if the economy melts down, which I believe is going to happen, there's still going to be so much opportunity, because if you have good credit, you have cash, you're going to be able to rock out. So, all right. Actually, I went long. All right. So this is what we're doing. Hold on. Let me see what. All right. What I'm going to do, because I don't have it here and I'm not going to be able to put it in here. I'm going to open up the art of holding again. I think I was selling it for 150, whatever price it was. I'm going to open it up again, and everybody that is on the text notification list, I'm going to send you a link today. And once again, give me some time to get you in there, and I will set you up, because we're about to get into some stuff. We're about to get in. One of the things I'll do is the child support thing. I'll try to do that today. I got to look at my schedule, because I think 2 people canceled for their consultation calls. So if they canceled, I'll look, because I just wanted to come out here and I wanted to do the stream, because this is game. This is some of the best game you can get. This, and it's in print, and they got all the documents and stuff, and it'll take you some months to really decipher it all, but it's worth looking at. So anyone that wants to get into the art of holding, you need to be on the text notification list. Later on, I will send out a link saying that, hey, I'm opening it up. There's a lot of stuff there, and I'll shoot you an email. Let's see it. Yeah, because this is what I'll do. I'll set it up as an email, and then I will send you the link to the email, and you can see everything that's going to be involved and all this other stuff. Because if I'm correct, and this is an assumption, if you prepare yourself right now, you have a chance of being wealthy in the next 5 to 10 years, because the market goes down, everything goes on sale. You got money, you got credit. You can, like, what it used to cost you $1, now you can get for 25 cents or maybe even 10 cents. So we're going to get into all that. So go below, get on the text notification list. I will send that link today. And also, if you feel like you need Hustlers Undergrad, enroll in that today. Salesmatic is $99 for 30 months. And Hustle 4 Figures is $99 for 25 months. So with that, I'll see you people later. You have a good one. It is Thursday, and I got stuff to do. So I'll catch you guys later.